Now, welcome to the first day of Selenium training. So maybe you are new to Selenium, or maybe you are working on Selenium project, and maybe you want to clear interview. Well, we will be going in a very systematic manner and covering each and every aspect of Selenium. Now, don't worry about your knowledge regarding Selenium, as we will cover each and every topic in a systemic manner. We will learn C sharp, we will learn Selenium, and every topic of Selenium. Now, to learn Selenium, we have actually got the three phases. First of all, you need to understand C sharp. You need to learn C sharp. Then next you need to learn Selenium, and then you need to learn Selenium. And in order to learn Selenium, you must have knowledge of, you can say, WebDriver, Grid, and Unit, Jenkins, and lots of other things. Okay, when we will actually learn while learning Selenium, and don't be afraid of these terms, as I will be telling you each and every topic in detail in the coming classes. Okay, and in the end, you have to learn how to build framework and end-to-end framework, and there are various type of framework available to us by Selenium, and we will be discussing all of them one by one. Okay, now before actually jump to the training, let us take a few questions which are being asked by many people, that what is Selenium? Okay, so for that we go to the official website, and it clearly says that Selenium automate browsers. That's it. Selenium is actually used for automating web-based applications. And one thing to remember, it is not at all used for automating the desktop application. This is a very basic interview question that interview can ask you, that can we use Selenium in desktop applications? So the answer is no. This is a very basic interview question. Okay, so as far as browsers are concerned, it support all browsers. Okay, but as a tester, you must have the knowledge of any programming language to learn Selenium. In our case, it is C sharp. Okay, now we will covering, you can say, these are the course contents, and we will covering each and topic in details. These are in my thing. I think so 21 modules are there, and we will cover each and every aspect of Selenium. I simply say that Selenium training will give you an overview about all the topics which are required in order to learn Selenium WebDriver. All these topics are covered in the training. You can go there and see that what topics are we are covering. Okay, now the next question is that will you cover some live projects and frameworks? We will, and we will cover all the frameworks in the coming training. It will be an end-to-end implementation on a live application. You will know how to generate reports, how to email reports, in the end, how to add screenshots in the project, how to run test cases on Grid, how to implement your test cases on Jenkins server. Everything will be discussed. Now, next question is that I want to use Selenium in my project. Can you help? And the answer is yes. We will helping out you in your project. We have a team here which can help you. Also, we have a forum. You can see here when you log in. So this is query resolution forum. Here you can post your questions, and our team will revert you back. Okay. Now the next question is, how much C sharp required? In our first part of training, where you can see this till string, it is, we are covering C sharp, and it is enough, more than enough. Mostly people which are coming to us to learn Selenium does not know C sharp. They're coming from manual background. So don't worry, you will learn C sharp with Selenium. Many people think that they know Selenium, but actually they doesn't know much about Selenium. You have to learn C sharp or any other programming language to learn Selenium WebDriver. You will have to give some time in order to learn Selenium. Now, the next question is I want to learn Selenium and clear interviews. Well, to learn Selenium, it requires 2 weeks. But if you want to learn professionally and build a framework by yourself, it will take around 6 to 8 weeks. It takes time. And after the full training, you will learn Selenium, but it will take time. Okay, we will give you lots of practice exercises for C Sharp and Selenium that is going to help you a lot for learning C Sharp. Now, the next question is how tough is Selenium? It is very easy, but it requires some time. You planted a plant today and also you want fruit same day. It can't be done. Okay. Now, the next question, how much time required to learn Selenium? Okay. I already told you that it will require some time in order to have a brief knowledge of Selenium to clear interview. The same way this picture shows that it will take time, but if you complete the training, then only you can achieve it. Okay, so this is all the questions. Now coming to the installing of Visual Studio. So we will go to their official site and I think so which is visualstudio.microsoft.com, and there you can go with their community version. Okay, there I think so. Yeah, downloads. Yeah, you have to go for the community version. This version is free of cost. It is an open source IDE that can be used by you in order to learn C Sharp, and this is more than enough from the testing point of view. So I'm again saying go for the community version. This version is totally free. So now there it is, something is written IDE. Can you tell me what is the full form of IDE? Any one of you?
Yeah, it is integrated development
Oh,
environment.
yeah, yeah. This is the very basic interview question. When I starting going for the interviews, this is the first question the interviewer has asked me. So you should know the full form of these things as well. So I will not install this Visual Studio as I already installed in my computer Visual Studio 2022. So we go into that. Now we will create a new project. Okay. Now there are different types of projects are there. We will go for the Colab, and clearly you see that it is showing C sharp with Windows console. We are using Windows, so it is more than enough. Click on it and click next button. Name your project name as you want and click on next. We are using the latest .NET 8.0, the long-term support, and click on create. Okay. Now, right now, I'm not telling you how to write code for Selenium. What I'm teaching you is C sharp. First of all, what is C sharp? Basic concepts of C sharp, roots of C sharp, you say, so that it will become easy for you to write Selenium code in C sharp. So, this is how program looks like here. Here you can see whenever I make a new project, this is your solution explorer window. Whenever you make a new project, it always make a program.cs file. And you can see there is main function over here. Okay. So I think so you both know one basic question is there that what is an unit? I think so you know what is an unit, why we need to learn an unit, why an unit is required while we talk about Selenium with C Sharp. To understand, let us take an example in which Selenium scripts are running. Basically, you write a script in Selenium. You can say, if I give you, suppose there are some Selenium scripts are running. You can say this is script 1, this is script 2, this is script 3, and this is script 4. Okay. Now, you can say this is script 1, this is script 2, this is script 3, and this is script 4. And what are the basic requirements? Well, you have to read the data from, you can say, Excel file, XML file. Okay. Now here I'm reading the data. Read the data from Excel file. You can say XML file or any other file. And on the same time, you have to generate reports like you have to generate reports where that what is going on your with your test cases. You have to generate reports or you want to take, you can say, some screenshots of your test cases, screenshots of your test case, and at the same time you want to generate logs as well. Okay. So now the question is, what are logs? You want to generate logs as well. Now, what are logs? Logs are things that you want to know what happened each and every moment in my framework, or so, or many more requirements are there which can be added in any framework. When we talk about Selenium, actually we are talking about writing scripts, Selenium scripts. Just writing Selenium scripts which will run one after one or run parallelly will not serve the process. That is why we learn an unit for that to organize the stuff. But you cannot an unit you cannot learn an unit like that. For this you have to learn C sharp. And you can say an unit is acting like a brain or can heart of your framework that it will guide, it will run Selenium scripts, like you can say it will tell which tool, which script to run parallelly or run one after the other. It will tell all the scripts. It will read the, you can say, data from XML file, Excel file, or any other file and generate the reports as well, take the screenshots as well, and generate logs as well. So it acts like a heart of your framework. So coming back to our project, you can see that program.cs is there. Now, CS, it clearly says that C sharp. The extension CS means C sharp. Okay. Now you can say, what does this main method? Another interview question, that what is main method? So every time code execute, code comes here for the first time. Every time code execute, it will run from the main method. Okay. Now you can see here, can say console dot write line, and I say learn Selenium with C sharp. Okay. Now, and I will say console dot read key. Okay. Now, one thing to remember, that C sharp is case sensitive. Okay. I will write my point that C sharp is case sensitive. Okay. Now, there are two types of commands are there. One is console.writeLine, and other is, you can say, console.write. And you can see the difference. You can say test part. Now suppose if I run my code, now you see that it print like this. Suppose if I say, mm, now you see it will print in the same line. Okay, so you know you know the difference between console.write and console.write line. Okay, now one another mode is there. It is called debug mode. Okay, now what is debug mode? Debug mode is that I can see the execution of code will be stopped on this line, then it will jump onto the next line one by one. Okay, then you can even put more than, can say, one debug point. Okay, now so if I start my project, execute my code, now it will stop here, and I will press F10, then it will start executing. Okay, now and go to the next line. Okay, now what is the advantage of debugging? So suppose in a project when you got some error and you don't know where is the error coming from, then you can put breakpoint, and then you can use simply apply breakpoints and debug the code and resolve the or errors one by one. Now by pressing F10, I can do one line by line, and by pressing F5, the whole code executed in on the same line. So I will tell that F10, it go one by one, and by pressing F5, the run whole code or stop to next breakpoint if you apply the next debugging point. Okay, now coming back to our project. So if I declare int I equal to 100, so what does this mean? That there is a memory location whose name is I and value assigned as 100. So 100 has been stored inside that memory location named as I. I'm again writing that there is a memory location whose name is I and value assigned as 100. So 100 has been stored inside that memory location. Okay, which is which is named as I. Okay, now I can simply write console dot write line and say I. Okay, suppose this will work. Okay, now suppose if I put double quotation marks, then it is wrong. Don't put double quotation marks. It will represent int string. Now suppose if I run my code and say now it is printing 100. Okay, so first I delete the debugging points and I will put double quotes and again execute my code. You will see that it will print I. So I have to be very careful that I don't have to put double quotation marks in I. So there is the data type int. So I can't store, you can say uh, decimal values in integers. So and say if I hover over int, this is the 32-bit signed integer. Okay, suppose I use long L equal to, can say whatever the number is. So if you hover over long, it represents a 64-bit signed integer. It is used for storing bigger values. Int cannot store bigger values. Okay, but int and you can say long cannot store integer values. Okay, and we have one more data type which use we can use is double. 2 3 4 5.67. So double represents a double precision floating point number. So double will hold the integer's value. Okay. Now there is one more data type which is known as char. C equal to, can say R anything. It will store only one character. If I give one more character, then it will give error. And the error you see is represents a character as a 16 called too many characters in character literal. So it's a very good interview question that char can hold more than one character or not. So the answer is no. Char can hold only one character. Only one character is allowed in char. Okay. Now there is one more data type which is byte. Say b equal to 99. So it will store the values which is less than 100. Okay. Now there is one more data type which is known as bool. Okay. Now bool will hold the value either true, either false. It cannot hold the value other than true or false. It can be true or it can be false. So now if I say int x equal to 100, then int y equal to 200, then I say int z equal to 300, and I will say that console dot write line, I can say x is greater than y, and I will comment the previous console.write and run my or execute my code again. You see it is printing false. So this is an conditional operator. Okay. So this is an conditional operator. Now I will simply write one if else program that if x is greater than y and y is greater than z. So console.writeLine that x is greater, else if y is greater than z, then I will type console.writeLine y is greater, and the last part else you can say z is greater. Okay. And if I run my code, so you see that it will print z is greater. Okay. Now you see that I have put this. It will check both the conditions. Again, I'm saying and operator will check both the conditions. Suppose if x is greater than y, okay, Suppose I will print, give the number that you can say 400. Now, now 400 is greater than y, and y is not greater than 300. So let's see what happened. In this, you see that it says z is greater. It is checking both the conditions, that if 400 is greater than 200 and 200 is also greater than 300, which is not. So it will not go into this. Now I will use OR condition. This is a sign for OR condition. Either one of them is true, then it will go into this. Now suppose if I run my code, now you see it goes in the first condition, that if 400 is greater than 200, then it will go. Either of the condition is true, then it will go inside this curly brackets. So you should be very careful to use AND operator and OR operator. This will check both the condition, and you can say this will check one condition is true or not. Or you can say if it find one condition to be true, then it will go inside the curly brackets. So there is one more data type, which is you can say string. So in string, you can say string s equal to, I can print anything, can print anything. The thing is that if you do the double quotes outside any number, any character, then it will be taken as string. Now, string is not a data type. It is a inbuilt class. This is a very good interview question. The interview can ask you, the string is a data type or not? The answer is no. It is not a data type. You can see over here that it represents the class system.string. Okay, and you can say hover over any other data type, int represented to bit signed integer system dot int 32, but there is no class written over here. But in case of string, it represents system dot string. We will be discussing the strings in the coming classes. As you can see over here in our course, that we have a whole module for string class and functions. Okay, so we will be doing that in our coming classes. Now, moving to some more advanced topics, like you can say, we will go for the some loops. We will go for the loops. Okay, loops. Then we will discuss arrays. Then we will discuss function. Okay. Now, for this, I will make a new class by going to my Solution Explorer window. Then right click on my project name and add, can say new item, or I can direct add class from here. Okay, and name it as, you can say, um, concatenation study. So there, now I will add my main method. So I will type like string, I can say x equal to selenium and string y equal to study, or you can say training. Now, if I write console dot write line x plus y. Okay. Now, if I run my code, first of all, I will make this as my startup class by going into my project, right click on my project, then go to properties. Suppose, first of all, I will run my code. Now it will give error, and the error you can see that program has more than one entry point defined. So if the main method is defined in program.cs file as well, you can say over here, and main method is also defined in my another file, other class name, which is concatenation study. To solve this problem, we can right click on my project and go to properties, and here startup object, and which I want to take my startup class. I can select over here, then close this window and run my project again. Now you see it will not give error. Now you see that something is coming in here. So sometimes what happens that this window will vanishes away very fast. To avoid that problem, we shall write console dot read key. Now if I again run my project or can execute my code, now you see those lines are not there. Okay, so here this sign plus sign is act as a concatenation operator. It is used for concatenating the strings. Okay, now after running the program, you see that Selenium training in one single line, as Selenium and training are two different words assigned to two different variables, but it is being printed in one single line because we are concatenating the two strings. Now we take int a equal to 100 and int b equal to 200 and say console dot write line a plus b. Now if I execute my code again, now see it will print 300. Now suppose I will say console dot write line a plus b plus x plus y, and in another line I will write x plus y plus a plus b. Okay. Now if I run my code again, now you see that first in a plus b plus x plus y it is printing 300 selenium training. Now you see that what is happening is that if I take an example and say in first part when it is doing a plus b plus x plus y. Now I know that uh, a is 100, b is 200, x equal to selenium, and y equal to training. Now in first line of code a plus b, first a plus b, then it will add as 300, which is a plus b, then it adds with selenium. Now in this line it both act as strings, so the answer is 300 selenium. Okay, now 300 seleniums add with training. Okay, now so the answer becomes 300 selenium training. So, and in the second line of code where you can say x plus y, which is selenium training. So first it will act selenium plus training. So these both are strings. So it act as say selenium training. Now this selenium training, when in the line plus a, now selenium training is adding with the selenium training is adding with 100. Now it will act as string and it also act as string. So the answer comes selenium training 100. As you can see over here, selenium training 100. And now this selenium training 100 is adding with, you can say 200. So the answer comes selenium training 100 then 200. Because in this case it acts as a string as well. So the answer comes in training 100 200. So you have to be very careful when you are using the strings and integers values simultaneously. Now, if you see that if I write console.writeLine, first I will type x plus y, then I say plus a plus b. Now, if you will see over here that here you see Selenium Training 300. Now x plus y, it will print Selenium Training, and a plus b, it gives 300. So it will go for the bracket value first, then with each other. Okay, so you have to be very careful when using these brackets. The integer values in the brackets working with the Selenium and you will might get confused. So you have to be very careful while using the concatenation operator. It never adds up directly, especially with the case of strings. So till now, everything that we have discussed so far is present in every programming language, whether it is C Sharp, PHP, Java, or Python. The concept remains the same for every programming language, that how you declare the variables. So now let's move forward to the concept of loops. Okay, so first of all, we will make a new class and say add, can say new class and name class at loops study. Okay, now again I will add my main method to it. Okay, now first we will study while loops. So how to initialize while loop. Okay, suppose I will int I equal to 0, and now I will give the condition while I is less than 10. I will print console.writeLine I, then I will increment my I by 1. Now again I have to make this as my startup class. So again I go to my project, then right click and then go for properties, and here say loop study. Okay, then close this. Okay, remember this, you have to close that window. Okay, now if I execute my code or run my code, it is giving error. Okay, I have to say console dot read key. Okay, now if I run my code again, now you see it will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till 9. You see that it will not print 10 because in my condition I have said that I is less than equal to 10. Okay, now here I will say this is initialization, this is the condition, and this is the incrementation. Okay, so now if you want to see that what is happening in your code, you can put the breakpoint over here and go for the execution of code again. Now here I is 0, which is less than 10. So the condition holds true. So it will go into the my code, then it will print 0. Okay, then the incrementation, now I becomes 1. Then again it goes to check the condition that I is 1. 1 is less than 10, which is true. So again it will go into my curly brackets and print the value of I, and now the incrementation part is done. Now I becomes 2. So this way, this will turn into my code. It will go into this loop till now it becomes 9. So I have printed 8 till 8. Now when it checks, yes, 9 is less than 10. Yes, this is true. The condition holds true as it is true. So again, it will go for the print and print the 9. Then incrementation part is done. Now 10. Again, it goes for the condition and check whether 10 is less than 10, which is false. 10 is not less than 10. It is equal to 10. So it will not go into the my curly brackets. It will go to the next line. Now, suppose if I say less than equal to, now in this, it will print till 9. Okay. Now, if I run my code again, now it will print 10. Okay. Suppose you want to print the number in reverse order. Okay. So I can do that as well. I will give it as a 10 and I will say greater than 0. Then I will say I minus minus. Now, if I print the, you can say if I execute my code, now you see it will print in the reverse order. So this is a very important part, that this is the initialization, this is the condition, and this is the incrementation. Now there is one more loop which is called for loop. So I can use my for loop as for int y equal to 0, y is less than 10, y plus plus, and here I will print console.writeLine y. First I will comment this. Now if I run my code, now you see again that it will print the same thing. Now you see that the initialization, the condition, and the incrementation is done in the same line. Okay. Now, so suppose I want to print the sum of first 100 numbers. For that I can do by, can say int sum equal to 0, or if I say that uh, can you do the practice that you have to print the sum of first 100 numbers by yourself. So this will be your practice exercise for today, for the both of you. Okay. Yeah, hello.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is,
Okay. Okay. So if you have some question regarding the whole exercise, you can ask me now. If you have understood, or if have you don't understood anything, you can ask me now, or you can ask me tomorrow.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now one thing is uh, to that, which one is better? While loop is better or for loop is better? Can you tell me which one is better?
Yeah, a while loop is better if we are not sure about the number of iterations.
If you are saying
Uh,
that while loop is better, suppose uh,
no, actually, while loop is better if the number of iterations is not it is uncertain. For loop is
answer.
better if we have to loop for certain number of times.
Okay, yeah, you are right that it is better in some condition and it for loop is better in some conditions. Suppose if I don't give this, okay, and I will print.
I think for loop is better because unnecessarily we don't execute one time. With while, no, I think
So,
that's a dual.
yeah, it depends on the condition to condition. Suppose I write like this only. Okay. Now, suppose in my previous when I is equal to 0 and you say I is uh, less than equal to 10 and I'm printing and I have suppose I have missed this line that I am incrementing the my I plus 1. Now, suppose if I run my code,
It will loop infinite times.
yeah, it will loop for the infinite time, but the error doesn't comes. This is the major drawback for the while loop. That if I don't give the incrementation part, then it will go for infinite. It will not give me any error, but it will go in the infinite loop. But you can see in the for loop, I have to give my incrementation. Suppose if I don't write this, then it will give me error. Suppose nothing is written. Okay. So the thing is that I have to very specify. Suppose if I write like this only, I want to print. I don't know what happened. Let us see. It will go in the for loop in the, I think so. Yeah, it will go as well. But in some cases, for loop will give an error. Okay. But in some cases, while loop is better because if I check the condition that if it is true, because while loop will execute only if the condition is true. So it is good in some cases when we see in the coming classes that while loop is helpful in some conditions and for loop is better in some conditions. Okay. Now the question is that where we use for loop in Selenium. Suppose you have an Excel file with you can say uh, username or password. Say yeah, you have an Excel file. You have your rows and columns over there. Let's suppose you have so you have username, you have password, you have emails, and then you have zip code. Okay. Now you have to iterate through entire Excel sheet. So here we can use for loop. For loop is very helpful in reading Excel data. Okay. Now the exercise for both of you that you have to print the result of first 100 numbers. Okay, just try it. If you can, it's okay. Otherwise, I will tell you how to do. Okay? Oh,
Okay,
okay. Okay. I can't remember your name. What's your name?
Dheeraj.
Dheeraj. Yeah, Dheeraj. Okay, then we will see the exercise result tomorrow. And Anusha, please do the same if you can. And if you find any problem, then you can say my number is. Actually, I think so. Ashish has shared the number with you. You can call me on and say if you find any problem, just ping me on 9914040 666. This is, I'm available on the WhatsApp as well. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. If you find any problem, just ping me on this. And this
So,
class, yeah,
yeah, so where can I find this
link,
recording?
yeah, it will get to you with the 1 hour. You will get the link.
Okay.
Okay. It
And
will be upload.
one more
It,
thing.
yeah,
Okay. Like, I think today you covered in many topics, right? So just
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to check there will be a detailed session on each of these, like, I think what is data types and the different data types,
Yeah,
etc.
when I give you the recording link, just go through it. Okay, I think so. I have done data types, then I have done data types, then I have done some if and else condition. You can say conditional operators. Okay,
Mhm.
everything is there in the recording. Then I have done loops. Okay, I have done loops. The first part. Okay, just go through it one by one. If you find anything difficult, just ping me. Okay,
Okay.
okay.
And
Yeah,
one last question. You were showing the list of topics that you would be covering, right?
yeah. This is the topics.
Okay, so this is in the wisdom.
Yeah, you can seleniumtraining.com. Go to seleniumtraining.com. There and there
Okay.
you see there is Selenium C Sharp training. There is course details. Can
Okay.
you can okay. So we have right now we have today we have installed the Visual Studio, run our first program, and see the data types and see the difference between console.writeLine and console.write. Then how to debugging the code by pressing the F10 one by one, and by pressing the F5 is run the whole code. Then we have discussed data types as well, different types of data types which we use. Then we study the conditional operator like AND operator, OR operator. Then we have done the concatenation operator, is X plus Y. Then we have studied the loops. Okay, just go through one by one. If you find any problem, I will repeat again. Okay, so that's all for today. We will meet tomorrow at the same time. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
hope
Sure.
hope both of you will come. Okay,
I
so
think Dheeraj has a question.
yeah, Dheeraj, you can ask me.
Yeah, Vijit, actually, sorry for asking late. Can you
No, no,
introduce
no.
yourself?
Yeah, my name is Abhijit. Actually, I'm a bit of a software developer, but from the past 15 years, I'm working in the both of the lines like QA, and my passion is developing that I'm in the starting my career as a .NET developer, then PHP, then Java, then currently I'm working in Flutter as well. And Selenium, I have starting Selenium from the past 8 years and doing side by side. Okay, I have working under Ashish Wisdom Training from the past, I think so, 7 years. We have done little bit of projects and doing some developing business as well. Okay.
Okay, Abhijit.
Okay. So we will meet tomorrow at the same time. Okay. I have joined actually 5 minutes earlier before both of you. If you can join, if you want to join early, but we will wait for both of you to come. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay, Abhijit. And one more last thing. Actually,
Yeah.
as I mentioned previously, if I have some question to you, can I join early and ask? Or
Yeah, yeah, you can. Just if you have question that, yeah, then you can ping me also. If I am available, then I can arrange a small meeting as well, maybe of 5 to 10 minutes to clear your doubts.
okay, okay, sure.
Okay, you can ping me in the mm, anytime. If I'm available, then I can do it as well. And also, if I'm not available, then we can you can say that after the class we can do it for 5 to 10 minutes for your problem session.
Okay, sure, sure.
Okay,
Thank you.
for the each one of you.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Then bye for the today, and we will meet tomorrow again. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
thank
you
you.
will get the link in 1 to 2 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
And Abhijit, are you flexible with the timings as well? Because 10:30 may be little late for me.
Mm, the thing is that I have my class at 7 a.m. I think so, which is 9:30 p.m. for you. If you can, the person is only ahead of you with 2 classes. She is ahead of you just of 2 classes. If you can, if you both can, then you can join her as well. I I have no doubts and I have no can say no problem in that. But you are, I think so, 1 class behind, 1.5 class behind that girl, because that girl is not okay today. So I think so. You are, yeah, you are 1 class behind that girl. If you can like attend 1 class, then I can do 1 hour earlier for you, that you can join at 9:30 p.m. in your time. I think so.
Okay. Or she
Okay.
can repeat the same classes. Wait, it's
Uh,
like a
okay.
yeah.
Let me ask her if he is flexible. So Dheeraj, is it okay with you for
Okay,
if
Abhijit. We'll be getting this recording, right? Any?
yeah, yeah, you are getting this recording. I'm saying that if you come 1 hour earlier, is it okay with you?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, then
Yeah,
I can combine three of you with in the same class. So let me ask to her that if she is okay, then I will miss the class of her tomorrow. Then I will organize this meeting at 7 a.m. IST, Indian Standard Time, and I think so 9:30 p.m. for Anusha. I don't know the time zone for Dheeraj. I are in Hyderabad, I think so.
yes, yes, yes.
Then 7 a.m. It's 7 a.m. 7 a.m. is okay for you?
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Okay. So let me talk to her. So she will skip the class tomorrow, and then three of you can come in the same class. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I will inform you as soon as I talk to her.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye, Dheeraj. Bye, Anusha.